Let's see here. I'm going to get started. Thanks for joining us today on Unfinished Friday. As you see behind me, this is not my basement. It is a background. So anyway, we're all unfinished. We're all learning. We're all growing, and we're all you all obviously on here are eager to learn and grow and be better at what you do. And so it's a pleasure to be able to welcome someone. I think our farthest guest we've had so far, Doug Bynum. He's from Oklahoma, and so don't treat him too bad. But he is going to. I've had the pleasure of getting to know him over the past couple months now, and that's all because of going virtual. We would probably have never met had that not been a thing. Um, so Doug's going to share with us about a book called The Compound Effect. So Doug, I'll let you take it away, and so everybody else, if you mute, that would be great.
All
Thanks.
right. Hey, I'll throw this screen up here in a second, but if you've not seen this book, The Compound Effect, it's by a guy named Darren Daly, Darren Hardy. I'm sorry, Darren Hardy. And Darren Hardy also has a daily podcast called Darren Daily. And if has anybody by show of hands listened to his podcast? Right. So uh, it is actually it's actually great. It really is have coffee with Darren Daly, and it's to jumpstart your day. So I got interested in his book when I saw this book come out, and I'll be honest with you, this book is probably part of every other book I've ever read in my entire life on self development. And I would say this is probably the basis of every book. And what I want to do is let me see if I can do this share screen here. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm a very simple person. So this will be just like so simple. Wow, man, look at that. Who said that old people can't figure out things here? Now I'm using a different computer, but the compound effect and of course the picture. I just took a picture of the book on my desk. But the title in itself really tells you everything. Jumpstart your income, your life, and your success. And I actually have it on audio, and I've listened to it probably at least 4 to 5 times at the gym. And what really got my attention is it talked about success is not doing 1,000 things. Because I remember in my youth, it's like work, 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 work. And actually, I had 26 years in the military, 2 years selling cars, and 20 years working for the federal government. And one of the best, and this has nothing to do with the book, but one of the best advice I got was I was working to the day I retired, and a guy came in with a bucket of water, and he goes, "Put your hand in this bucket of water." I go, "Why? What's wrong?" He goes, "Just put it in there." I go, "Is it hot?" "No, put your hand in the water." So I put my hand in the water. He goes, "Okay, pull it out. You see the hole you left? You will be replaced within minutes." And I went, "Wow." So it's not doing 1,000 things, it's doing 6 things 1,000 times. So you find the 6 things you need to do. And in the book, it talks about this. Find 6 things that's going to in your life, 6 things in your business, and you concentrate on those. And the book goes into some more detail. More information is not, and I don't know about you, but I'm wearing this thing around my neck because I have stressed myself out. Facebook, Instagram, Zooms, emails. You can actually just make yourself hurt. And my neck is killing me because of the amount of information. And he talks about in the book that you don't need more information. And I actually have quit watching the news. I was raised watching the news. And I found out if there's something really bad happening, somebody will call you or you'll hear an alarm outside and you'll know what's going on. So, yeah, sometimes you can't help it. Facebook will tell you what's going on a little bit. I just found out the time is going to change on Sunday morning at 2 o'clock, and you don't have to stay up to 2 o'clock. So more information is not the answer. Now, the tortoise and the hare. I will tell you right now, I am definitely the tortoise. I always tried to be the hare, and then what I would do is I would just mess up, and I found out I'm just getting started. I mean, I'm pretty senior, and I've been working on this thing all my life, and I like what John said. John said it best. He goes, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do when I grow up. And that's exactly how I feel. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do when I grow up. So, in the book, it talks about the tortoise and the hare, and it talks about we all remember that as a childhood story, hopefully. I don't even know if they tell it anymore, but it is still really, to this day, a very, very good story to talk about. That tortoise won because what he did was he was consistent. He just basically did it slowly, but he kept going and going and going. The hare took off, would take a break, get distracted, take a nap, and the tortoise won the race. So I think the tortoise is the hero, even though I'm the graduate of the University of Maryland, which is the Terrapin. So I guess maybe I was meant to be a tortoise. I'm sure everybody on this group, because you guys have been in business, you've done this thing, you know that process about reaping rewards. And you remember the story, would you rather take 1 penny compounded daily for 31 days or $3 million? And I've used this with so many of my friends, and everyone goes, well, $3 million. I go, let me show you something. All right. If you take the compounded, and in the book, I got it marked, but it talks about, within 5 days, you got so much money, and by like the 15th day, you got $5,000, and you're going, man, I think I made a mistake. I should have took the 3 million. At the end of 31 days, you'll have over $10 million. Now, that is the basic concept in the book about compound. Small little things add up. But this next part of the book is really got my attention, because it's really about the 3 friends. They talked about Larry, Scott, and Brad. And what happened was Larry, he went out and he made no changes in his life whatsoever. He had no changes. And then Scott made small positive changes. He read 10 pages of a good book every day. He cut back a few calories in his diet. He started walking a little bit, working out, studying, making a few extra phone calls for his business. He started making small changes. And then Brad did basically the opposite. He added some desserts to his dinner. He put a bar in his house. He added 1 drink to his every night. And the big change was, and this is one of the examples, and I'll use this one. This is actually Dr. Oz had this on his show, talking about in 31 months, which is 940 days, if you added 125 calories, which is not a lot. Think about that. Probably a donut or just some extra sugar and cream in your coffee. That's 117,500 calories. And if you actually multiply that and do all the division, you could actually gain 33.5 pounds. And I have proven this to be a fact. I have done this. And I have been trying to get this weight off by doing this compound effect of taking things off. I no longer eat donuts. And I took all this out of my diet. And you know what? In 31 months, I'll get the 33.5 pounds off. But if I add maybe a little extra steps at the gym, I can speed this process up. That's what's really neat about this. Now, this is a graph. I took a picture out of the book, and this shows right in here the behavior. If you do nothing, if you do negative, and if you do positive, it results in your income, health, relationships, happiness, not just business, income. I'm sure many of you have seen the thing with Every Dollar. It's an app for your phone. It's not in the book. It's an app in the book. It's a Dave Ramsey app. It's a free app. I started using this January of this year. before BC, before Corona. I, because of that, have found an extra $15 to $2,000 a month that I had no idea where it went. That money now has paid off cars. I am so close to paying off our house. I'm going to have enough money to redo our bathroom that collapsed yesterday or day before yesterday. So little small changes in your behavior. Before I go buy a Starbucks, I go, do I really want to put this in the app? Now I'll just skip it. Small compound effect changes. This is kind of a summary, and if I didn't even check my spelling, but the summary actions, write out a few excuses that you have. John and I were talking, John and I are about the same age. We're saying, am I too young? Am I not smart enough? I have no experience. What are your excuses? You need to write each one of them down and decide up in your mind what you're going to do to overcome that. And because everybody's got it. I think during the Center Spirit, we talked about excuses, and somebody says, well, we're going to add one more hour to 2020. My idea is that's great. It gives me one more hour to be able to help someone, improve my business, and make changes in my life. Now, Scott, write out a half a dozen small steps that have put on your take your life and do a complete new and positive direction. So kind of like Scott, and then we had don't be Brad. That's really what your takeaway is. Don't be Brad. Write down the small, seamless, inconsequential actions you take. That extra donut. That I didn't read a book today. I didn't pray today. I didn't go for a walk today. I didn't make that extra phone call to a client. I didn't update. I didn't go to my Center Spirit meeting. I didn't take opportunity to put something on the Center Spirit website. Write down all those action steps and it will change your life compounded daily. And so action steps give you a list of few areas, skills, outcome, consider, improvements, your future. I mean, get in there and take action. This is an action book. This is a book that you make marks on. This is a book that you underline. This is a book that you dog ear. This is actually a book that I will not get rid of. And I've got a whole box of books I've read that I'm going to give away. This is not one of them. Now, this is a funny story. It's in the book about elephants don't bite. I was reading this chapter because Aaron had asked me to get on and do this. I was in my chair reading this when the roof in my bathroom collapsed. I'll be honest with you, I thought someone was breaking in my house, and I took appropriate action, but it wasn't. And then all of a sudden I realized that elephants don't bite that much, but we all know about mosquitoes. Mosquitoes bite you, irritate you, you scratch, and it's just terrible. But this was a mosquito because the rest of my house was here. Being bit by that elephant is your house blows away in a tornado. You lose your job. I mean, it's just really, it could be something terrible health-wise. We don't really have that many elephants in our lives. We have small little mosquitoes. And again, we go back to don't complain. I heard in my training last night in my Legal Shield University, it says, things happen. It's our job to figure out what's good about it. And the guy telling it had just gotten cancer. He goes, there's going to be something good to come out of this. I don't know what it is yet, but it's going to come. So that's the attitude you got to have. And to have Thanksgiving year round, not just during Thanksgiving, but every day give thanks. And that is very, very important to do that, because if you give thanks every day, it will start to compound daily. Now, that is really the gist of the entire book. I told you I'm a very simple person. And I'm trying to make this thing come back alive so I can see everybody. I don't know what I've done here. But anyway, I can still see everybody. But anyway, it's a very easy read, a very good, and that is my takeaway. And I will tell you on a personal level, this has improved my relationship with my wife, with my children, with my coworkers, with my friends, because I work on this daily. And I'm studying Japanese, I'm studying Spanish. I've got all these little things I'm just doing a little bit every day. And Aaron, that is my take on the book, The Compound Effect.
That's a good one. I like it. I read early early on in this past 6 months. I read a book called The One Thing, and it's very similar. Yeah, there you go. Um, and not focusing on so many things at once. But I like that, the 6 things. Yeah, the 12-week year is really good too.
I took this as a class on a mastermind class. We use these 2 books.
Yeah, just how do you eat a frog, right? Just one bite at a time.
Elephant.
Or an elephant. Frog. What's the frog? What's the frog one? Anyway.
Hey, no,
tastes
the
like
frog is
chicken.
up the hot water. The hot water.
There you
Tastes
go.
like chicken.
Hey, just a quick story. You're the guy that you when you're retiring from the military, and my dad must have known each other, because I remember 20 years ago I was at home bragging to my dad that I was working for this company, and 85% of the volume that went through that plant was a direct result of me. So I was telling my dad that place would go out of business if I ever left. And that's when he told me, go to the kitchen, get a glass of water, put your finger in it, pull it out. He goes, that's how much they're going to miss you when you leave. And I can't believe 20 years later, they're still in business.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing?
So the frog thing is to eat the frog first, and that's like
No. The frog
the
thing
frog
is
first.
how to cook a frog.
No, this is a
No,
different.
this is a different one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
That's
Bring
right.
it on.
So eat the frog means that you do the thing that you dislike the most.
There you go. There it is. Thank you, Cheryl.
Yep.
I knew I wasn't like completely crazy.
I have not heard that, Cheryl.
Compliments of Dan Cedar.
Mm,
There you go. Well, hey guys, thanks for jumping on. We're past our time.
Sorry.
But
Doug, thank you.
yeah,
Thanks,
Doug,
Doug.
thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Doug.
You guys have a great Friday. Finish strong and have a great Halloween weekend.
Right.
Thank you all.
See you guys soon.
Yep, take care.